Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we will start working with the Orks. I'm going through every faction and every unit to see what I would recommend for how to use these guys. For multiplayer matchups is the main focus here. Kind of review what each of the units can do, their different kind of loadouts, and just kind of my opinion on how to optimally use these guys. But first, if you're enjoying these videos, please give my channel a like and subscribe. It encourages me to post more content for you. So the first unit we're going to discuss is the Warboss. He is the main HQ unit of the Ork forces here. He costs 220 points, so he is expensive. Unfortunately, he would be worth every point of this, except he's bugged out. So and this is a well-known bug, so we'll get into that in just a second. So for 220 points, you get a 300 HP unit, has 2 attacks, 4 movement, 6 armor, and 20 evasion. He has multiple weapons, all that are for his default cost. He's got a pretty good ranged weapon here, the Shuda. He can land his attacks surprisingly, so he's got 16 shots, each one doing 5 to 7 damage with an armor piercing of 3, optimal range of 2, base accuracy of 90, and it falls off 10 per tile. So if you can't get him into melee range, you can definitely get some shots and kills with your Shuda here. He's got the Power Claw, which is his main weapon that you'll want to be using. He has 1 attack. That 1 attack will do 75 to 100 damage to the base unit that he attacks, and then it'll splash damage to 4 other units in the squad, doing 30 to 40 damage with an armor piercing of 7, and he has an accuracy of 100%, so he's going to hit and kill whatever he hits pretty much. Now, he also has the Combi Rocket attack, and this is it's a free attack, so you can see it's not a free attack. It does use one of his action points, but it has 1 attack. It's a missile. It's the rockets, and it has a base damage of 22 to 30, and it splashes times 8 at 19 to 27. So even against Gretchen or scarabs, those kind of things, you definitely want to use your rocket attack, or if you're at a distance and you have a weak tiered infantry, low tier, and you want to do damage to every model in the group, then you can finish off and get some more model kills with the Shudas, assuming you can land the rocket attack. So generally, if you're using them in range, you'll want to use your rockets and then go into the Shudas. Unless, like I said, you're fighting a single unit, like an HQ unit or something, you wouldn't want to use the combi rockets. But certainly, if there's multiple models there, because you'll get more model kills than if you do this and then that instead of 2 Shuda attacks, because that only hits a single model at a time. There's no splash there. It has an optimal range of 5, so it definitely has some long range. If you're at 5, it has a baseline accuracy of 100. It falls off 5 accuracy per tile that's not at the optimal range. You have 2 ammunition of the rocket, so you can use it twice during a match, and it takes 3 turns to reload the weapon. So even though it says it has a cooldown of 1, it really takes 3 turns for you to have access to it again. Now, his special ability here is what's actually bugged. He's got the Warboss ability, and it's a very good ability. It gives all your units, both mechanical, so like your Def Dreads here, and your infantry, knobs, pretty much anybody else, and the Warbosses themselves, I believe, but I'll verify that. The Warboss ability, which gives plus 10% melee accuracy and 15% melee damage. So that's very, very good. So all of a sudden you can really start to buff up your other melee forces here by bringing them out, and that's how he's supposed to be used. And then he does have a free attack. It's the attack Squig. It inflicts 35 damage at 3 armor piercing, and you can use it every 2 turns. I'm pretty sure that the Warboss abilities don't stack, but I'll bring 2 of them with me. I tend not to use the Warboss because he's bugged out. So what you typically will do with the Orks is you'll want to have multiple heroes together so you can start buffing guys. So you'd bring like the Warboss with you, and then you'd bring a Pain Boy, because he's got a passive ability that gives plus 15% HP to all units, and that literally is all units, both mechanical and infantry, around the Pain Boy. So you can now got a 15% HP bonus, plus he can do some heals. Unfortunately, his heal has the chance to do damage to the units, so that's always a bummer, and then it wastes his action point here. Ideally, you would also bring a big mech with you because he also has abilities called the Custom Force Field, which decreases damage received by the big mech by 20% and range damage received by all allies within 2 tiles by 10%. So typically if you're going to do a hero blob, you'd want to be bringing all these guys out. And if the Warboss was not bugged out, you would also take a Weird Boy with you. And you'd use the Warpath ability, which would then give you an additional 15% and a minus 10% damage or resistance to all your units that are getting activated too. And again, this works on both infantry and mechanical. Problem is, the Warpath, if you use it on the units, will then bug out the Warboss ability. So as of now, the game regularly will get confused, and once the Warpath wears off, your Warboss ability doesn't show back up, and as soon as you cast that on there, the following turn they'll lose the Warboss ability. So a well-known bug, it happens very frequently, it's very frustrating. So I suppose if you were going to take these weird boys and take them to one side of the screen where the Warboss wasn't, and you didn't care if those units lost the Warboss ability, and you wanted to do the Warpath, like if you were going to have a bunch of shooters or something over there, then you could maybe bring both of them out of there, because he's still a good unit because he has the the blind ability here and then the headbanger, so he's still a good unit, plus he's cheap. So I usually make one of these my HQ units of all the command points go on him because I want to get the Warboss into battle. But because those things tend to glitch each other out, a lot of people don't bring the Warboss out, which is unfortunate because he would, if everything were to work and you could get these whole death ball things going, the Orks would be incredible, especially on an Exterminatus match or a Conquer match, matches where you're going to be in the thick of it, slamming into the enemy forces, and that's how the Orks should be. But Slytherin has not repaired this bug as of now, so hopefully someday in the future, especially with the new DLCs coming out, maybe they'll release things, but as of now, they still have not fixed that coding error, which is a big bummer. So we'll bring out this squad here. We'll verify that the Warboss abilities don't stack, which I'm almost positive they won't. We'll bring out kind of a little blob here of guys, and I'll bring a couple of vehicles with us to show that the Warboss ability does go on to vehicles as well. Like I said, if I was really playing against a competitive player and I was going to be fighting ranged units, I'd probably bring a big mech with me too, because again, I wouldn't be bringing 2 Warbosses out with me. But we'll just verify that they don't stack here, so you don't have to play around with that. And we'll do the Imperial Ruins because that tends to just make it the fastest matchup here for AI, since they always want to spread their players or their units around. Oops. I don't think there really needs to be much for strategy here. We'll just kind of bring everybody around here. The big thing is if you have Death Dreads, you typically want to have them together because they will affect each other's movement. And they're kind of frustrating too because you got to make sure that those bonuses stay on each other, because if you cross them away, then they lose the ability and they come back in there, then you don't get it back.
Cyborg legs ready to go. Let's get moving.
But we'll talk more about them eventually once it's their time to be discussed.
Something over there. Useful for parts.
I think I hear flyers here. And so you can see, oh, it does. The Warboss abilities do stack. Alright. I was wrong. So yeah, these guys have plus 20 accuracy and 30 melee damage. So the more Warbosses you have, the more that it stacks. That is fantastic. So yeah, all the more reason why you would. It's so catastrophic that the Warpath bugs these guys out. Yikes. That's a big bummer there. Well, let's keep these guys at range, I guess.
Here they come. And there they go.
Set you up to
This
3.
way will get 'em killed.
And did I bring 2 pain boys? No, just 1. I misspoke. Your range is 2, right? Yeah, so we'll put you over here, so you're still given bonus HP here. Because I do want the Warboss over here to be stacking. Bring these guys up as much as we can.
Give 'em a grumpy.
Nice. As you can see, pretty decent range damage there. Now, the one thing that the Orks do struggle with is they do not have a way to heal poison. Their heals do not affect poison. So just be aware of that as well, because that can sometimes cause some confusion.
We was made to fight, so let's fight.
Alright, and let's see. So you're the ones that have the claws. One of these does not have claws. You, obviously. So let's bring you up this way. And let you get your kill here. And I'll pull you back. Alright. Oh, of course you're the one that's blind, aren't you? If I do one more, get you up to 62. You missed.
It's our time.
Alright, and we'll do the hit him. Do I really need to hit him harder, I wonder? Feel like that's kind of overkill here. But we'll do it, just to make sure you get the kills.
Use both hands.
And we'll move you up here. Let you smack into these guys. Should be easy kills. Yes, we'll just attack here. Hopefully you'll get the kill. Good. And you guys can come up this way. And keep smacking over here. Oh, bummer.
The nose is here. It's our time.
Well, let's bring you up this way. Let you start working these guys down.
Is that all you?
Oh, that was weird. I think it's probably going to make sense to bring you up here and just get the melee attacks going.
Orks don't need to be the smartest, just the biggest.
Alright, let's do this, and hopefully they'll keep their movement bonuses. Boom. Let you come here. Boom. So that's pretty good. Now that guy's almost dead. So as you can see, you can really buff your guys with the Warboss here. And then these guys are still here. So let's move you up this way so you can give HP to these guys.
I think I can stitch that back. Orks always win.
And that'll be fine there. Yep, take some poison damage. Didn't even get through his bonus HP. And he's dead now. Yeah, pin boys are good, but dang, they can take a lot of damage. Because they have no armor there, so he's dead now. That is the right decision, so now he cut through all that bonus HP. Alright, you should be able to kill these guys without having to get the damage increased. Oh, of course I said that, and then you go and let me down like that.
Ready to boss the boys.
Alright, how do I want to do this?
We was made to fight. So
I don't know if you guys have really
fight.
taken enough damage that I need to move you around, so let's just smack with these guys. Move you down.
Move in and lead.
These guys can come around this way. And actually he has pretty good accuracy there, likely because of all the buffs that are going in. So let's just have you guys attack here. I'll let you charge in here. I was kind of hoping he was gonna... Oh good, you did. I was gonna say, I was hoping you were gonna overwhelm him.
Let's get moving.
Alright, attack here.
10 boys.
Pull you back one.
It's our time.
You can come up this way. And we'll let you attack here, and I guess you're gonna attack here.
Even when we don't. Best of the best.
And I guess I'd prefer you to get attacked if anybody's gonna get attacked, so we'll do something like that. Keep you up this way.
Orks always win. Even when we don't. Ready to boss the boys.
So, and you can see they can tank some shots here, as can the knobs. Now, unfortunately, these guys are all getting quite a bit of buffs here. Alright, we're gonna let you attack here.
It's our time.
I guess you guys are gonna attack there.
The knobs is here. Orks always win. Even when we don't.
Alright, 100% chance to hit. Well, actually these guys probably could surge, couldn't they? Well, I guess that means I'm going to probably have to do a second matchup here, unfortunately. Didn't occur to me that these guys were gonna, with their abilities, could probably do some stuff here. Makes sense, though. Alright, so that's 64.
So let's fight. Ready as sore bones. Ready to boss the boys. Move in and lead it.
Alright, let's put all these guys over.
Death Trench.
You can get out of the poison.
Yes. Ready to boss the boys.
Alright, we're gonna end turn.
Give them a grumpy.
Alright, well. I guess let's charge into here. Okay. And I guess you're the one that's closest to getting to Surge, so let's attack here. Good. And then you can attack here, and that should get you to Surge. Nice. Alright, good. Alright, so let's take a look. So if we empower the Squig attack, it will go up to 70 damage, doing armor piercing of 5, so that's pretty good. And it looks like this does not get the ability. You cannot, I wasn't sure if you're going to be able to empower the combi rocket or not, but you in fact are not. And then what this ends up doing for their momentum, if you were confused, is it increases range stability, armor piercing, and critical hit chance. So, you know, he's got a 5% critical hit chance, I think is what that would come out to be. No. Is that right? Actually be a 20% critical hit chance, a 2 armor piercing, and a 7.5 range stability, I think is how that would work, because shifting the decimal 2 places. So it definitely has some fun there, but I think most people will probably just be, would just surge them and let them get regular kills here. So that is how you would use the war bosses here. It's definitely meant to be a melee force, and I was not aware that all those different bosses watching things would stack. So yeah, definitely can do a lot of fun things there with the war bosses, and that's just a travesty that the warpath bugs out their abilities, because as you can imagine, if you were doing like a 3,000 point matchup and you have multiple war bosses there, all that stacking, you throw a warpath on your knobs thinking you're going to run in there and start attacking with them, or your storm boys, then they get into combat, and even with the warpath, I mean, you gain the debuff, or I keep calling it a debuff, the damage reduction buff it would be, but then, you know, if you had 3 of them, let's say, you would have a 30% damage, but then if the warpath went on, you would lose the 30% and only gain 15%, so you'd actually suffer a 15% penalty, and then once the warpath wears off, the boss's watching ability doesn't show back up. So it's just a real big shame that that ability doesn't work, and because of that, a lot of players will end up do a more range build orcs. I mean, certainly you can still do a melee build, and most people will probably do a hybrid build up of both, but most players do not do a full melee orc build, whereas if those abilities did stack appropriately, I think you'd see a lot more of the melee builds. Now, ever since they released the buffs with the Pain Boy, where he gives the passive 15% health to all the units, that has steadily increased the amount of players that are using melee builds, especially knobs, because that plus 15% health in addition to a heal does significantly increase their survivability, and as you were able to see, I think you could appreciate that they could tank some shots. And then the war boss, as you saw, was just good at pretty much everything. Now, unfortunately, when I was trying to shoot those combi rockets off, the gargoyle had poisoned me, so his ranged accuracy was significantly decreased. But even with that, he was still up to almost 60% chance to hit. So, and if he would have landed those rockets, he would have effectively wiped out that whole model, or that whole squad, because Tyranid do not have a lot of HP per model. So definitely could have done some good things there. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Again, just make sure that you don't end up screwing yourself by putting on the Weird Boy buffs in addition to the Warboss buff. That's just, so many new players get screwed up by that, and it costs them the match. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. You can certainly bring both of them. If you use it on the other side of the map, you'll be fine, but those units won't get the Warboss ability anymore. So it's not like you can't bring the Weird Boy. I don't want that to be the message, because Weird Boy is still a good unit, but you just can't stack the buffs on there, and you'll glitch them out if you try. So I just don't want you to waste your time trying to stack things. I'll send out a video or an update if Slither ever does fix that, but as of now it's still totally broken. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. It encourages me to post more content for you. Have a great day.